So I apologize. I'm gonna call them the meme team, not mean team. Well, you're mean for giving us this name, but you know what I mean. Anyway, we're going into the game now.
Let's put their meme on the battlefield as well, because we're jumping into Splat Zone's Umami Ruins. There's a double zones map, as everybody knows, and it's very key to maintain map control. And even for retakes, it's key to neutralize one of the zones so you kind of stall your team for more time. And let me talk about these comps. I see actually an NZAP. I was going to say a clueless comp, but no, that's an NZAP. And a splatter scope, a ZF splatter scope, which is not at all common. And I know Dynamo is quite strong, but one of Dynamo's middling weaknesses is that its movement is not too great. And having a laser getting pointed at you from across the map is not something you want to see. Another thing you don't want to see is these triple ink strikes as Thoc starts to push back into the map. Of Vantablack here, trying to fight it. Okay, I was gonna say, surely you get a pick. They do, and they maintain zones. Now Vantablack has the upper hand, and I think this lead is going to grow and grow and grow.
It's gonna grow, but the Charger getting that pick on that Dynamo in the middle. Something else as well noted is that there is double strikes on the side of Vantablack. So if you think you get away from, or not Vantablack, off of the meme team, sorry. Anyway, there's double strikes on the side of that team in Azuka, so there's always going to be ink flying that way, in that direction. So when you think you got rid of one thing, there's going to be another right away, and it's going to be in the form of strikes. But even so, Vantablack has been able to get all the way down to 27. The meme crew has been able to get the cap on the zone. We see that there's two fights going down, one by the dome on one side and one on like the back pillow area here. Vantablack able to get the advantage here, pushing this meme crew all the way back into their spawn. And you can see they're not overextending here because they know that the Charger's there. This bubble's going to be up just to maintain space, but the strikes are going to counter that with the bombs in the bubble. Cooler is now out on the side of the meme crew, and they're trying to find a pick on the way in, but in return the Zap ends up going down. But they are coolered. I believe they should be coolered, and they're back right away. And it looks like two members on the side of Vantablack go down, and finally there is a little bit more control in the middle here as the Charger now takes mid, trying to keep Vantablack at bay.
Yeah, this Charger needs to be displaced pronto with that crab tank that I see online from the side of Vantablack. As soon as they are ready, they will pop these triple ink strikes. Here we go, and the crab tank forcing the Charger back. But look, triple ink strikes of the green team as well, trying to displace that crab tank, works wonders. And that splatter scope getting a beautiful pick onto the Dynamo. But still, I don't know if Vantablack is out, because they seem to be fighting for zone. Actually, they seem to be capping it and still fighting mid, getting a couple picks. They're showing themselves to be the stronger team right now, in my opinion, Devi. And I really don't think this performance allows for different opinions right now. In a 3-3 scenario, Vantablack seems to still be holding mid. Maybe with two picks, the green team will change this, but I don't see it.
Vantablack has more of a, like if they get mid, they have definitely more control off the get-go with the Slosher and Dynamo combo. Because those are just tidal waves you don't want to be in, and then they have the Crab and the Decav's range slash to be able to pick off on the side. But the meme crew here, able to just keep back here. Of course, like, they don't have the lead right now, but they are able to take back control. They've been putting up decent fights in middle here, making sure that these tidal wave of ink doesn't rain down on them from middle, and just trying to hold them back, but aren't able to hold them back long enough to be able to cap the lead, which they are in a good position here right now to be able to do so. But this Decav sneaking up from the side, getting a bubble out. They are coolered.
Oh, wow.
Decav getting another pick here, is able to get aura'd. Dynamo following up, and the Dynamo here is able to get this one side. Charger here doing a good job of trying to hold this middle here, but isn't going to be able to hold zone for too long. Looks like the Bucket tried to come out and paint the zone to try to hold it a little bit. There is a 10-point difference, but Vantablack able to get back in and keep this meme crew back. But it's not done yet. Cooler is out, strikes are out. They're trying to get a hold of this other zone. They're trying to get hold of middle here, and they've got two members of Vantablack down. They're trying to cap the zone again. They've locked onto this last player here that was lurking in the middle, and now just want to try to be, they need to be able to hold here to get this lead.
Yeah, the green team here in a great position. Even though their splatter scope has gone down, they got a pick of their own onto the Dapple Dualies. But the Mint Decapitator has something to say about it as the triple ink strikes go out from the side of Vantablack. But that flank, absolutely crucial, getting 2 picks. It's now a 2v1 in mid. 3v1, scratch that. And this dually is surely going to get picked off. Now the green team in a great position as they trigger overtime, hopefully, to get this lead. Splatterscope gets a pick. Can they get a second as the Dapple Dually tries to move in through the right side? But no, there's nothing they can do with those triple ink strikes getting popped. And that is a great reversal for the green team, as Vantablack just cemented themselves as the clear winner for the first, 5 minutes of the game. Only at the last second during overtime did the green team come online and say, no, we can hold zone as well, and we can hold it for long enough. And that's first map.
They did that flank. Was it the dualies that did that flank?
I believe so. I
didn't see who it was, but I just saw someone come up from behind and get 3 members.
No, I think it was the
up on the
NZAP.
middle there. The NZAP. Okay, well, one of them went up and got 3 from behind. And that just that was exactly what this meme name crew needed to be able to get that control in the most greatest timing. Like it could not have happened at any sooner or later time. That was what they needed to be able to get secure, because then the Charger has up front there, the Charger had strikes, and they basically had insurance just to keep that zone locked to get that overtime lead. So it worked out so well in their favor to keep Vantablack back. But Vantablack putting up a solid fight towards middle there. Like, when they had control in middle, it was hard for this meme crew to be able to move in, and they had to really rely on those strikes to get something to happen and move in with those strikes to be able to make something stick. So so once they finally were able to do that, it just worked out in the end there. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that flank, that one big flank at the end to catch the 3 stuck in one spot did numbers.
Yeah, I will say I'm very, very impressed with Vantablack's Decapitator player. Yes. They played like a true decav. It's always go forward, always go. It doesn't matter if you get picked off, because you might as well get a triple. And which is exactly what happened this one time, where this player made an absolute clutch play to flip the zone right before they lost the lead, to no avail towards the end, as we know, but still got a couple picks. And it doesn't matter that the other times didn't go as well, because that's exactly what that weapons excels in. It's just go in, make a possible explosive play, and just give your team the entire map like that, which is great. However, that splatter scope was so oppressive, and Vantablack really didn't have much in their arsenal to deal with that kind of range. Not even that many bombs. They had 2 suction bombs, I believe. Oh, sorry, no, I'm thinking of the green team. Vantablack had a suction bomb, but they couldn't really displace the Charger, which I think would be key if they want to move in. They had that crab tank, but it always got triple ink striked without fail. Mm-hmm. Which kudos to the green team. I was going to try to attempt to say their name, but
their name has been stated in chat. Would you like to know what their name is?
Yes, I would love to.
Their name, it is an acronym, so I'm going to call them acronym from here on out.
Okay.
It stands for me when I want to blow their head off clean. Me
when I want to blow their head off clean. Right. That's a sane name for a team, I think.
Yeah, okay, so now you're just acronym, or just either way, you know.
All right.
So now we know.
Thank you, Debbie. And thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry.
For clearing the air. Rainmaker Humpback.
Let's see.
I see this being a pick. If there's a map that screams for Vantablack's comp, it would probably be Humpback. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. What I'm looking for here is a map where the Charger isn't that much of a nuisance. Because you can pop Crab Tank as many times as you want. If the enemy team has triple ink strikes online, that crab won't be helping much against the splatter scope. So really, I like Humpback, although in my experience, great map for a scope, but not on Rainmaker. And I really like that they picked a game mode that really rewards being fast and just playing explosively. And as we were talking about earlier, Vantablack has very explosive weapons, or at least they have the capability to play in such a style. They also have the dynamo, which in this map can be very frustrating with all the slopes. You can be getting one shot from places that you're thinking, oh, that shouldn't be happening. But I like this. I just think they need to be careful with the range, and they just need to try to outpace Acronym. They really do.
Yep, they really do. But there is, again, this map, I feel like screams for them. And you mentioned how the dynamo has the impact on here, and like it can limit the charger. But I know that solid charger players can find those angles. There's a Kraken brush.
Oh my!
Squirrel moment, Kraken brush. But that is a good choke pushing special on this map as well. Plus the Octobrush can have that tidal wave of paint itself. But of course, looking at Vantablack's comp, they are using the same weapons. So this is definitely in their comp favor. I can see the brush being able to do a good amount of things here, especially if they get around, trying to take control of the hill. They're looking for that Kraken. They want it right away. Able to use that Kraken. They're going to go around from the side. They want to try to find these picks. It looks like they had an opportunity, but ended up switching the sides. Kraken, you're trying to get that one, isn't going to be able to get it, but is going to get that pick in the detransformation. So is able to get one. Looks like two on Vantablack go down in return of the brush. I'm not sure what happened in the middle there afterwards. Larry here just trying to paint up, but still, no, the map really isn't truly in anybody's favor right now. It looks like Vantablack, though, is trying to push with it, but the members of Acronym are, like, right there. The brush is on the rail, able to stop that down, but now we have the two down on Acronym's side. The Zuka! The Zuka from behind!
The flanking Zuka. The flanking Zuka out of nowhere. Splat Kirby there with the absolute hero play, but look, you can't be standing in mid when you don't have it and not check your back once in a while, because the Dynamo is just going to pick you off, pick up the Rainmaker, and clear that checkpoint. Now, even if Acronym here is in a better position and can flush them out, that is quite dangerous, because this map, the pushes in this map can be very, very quick if you're not careful, and having the enemy clear that checkpoint that fast, not a good look for you. Not at all. However, it seems like Acronym is looking to do the same and equalize the field. Respect to that. Respect to that. And look, those triple link strikes aiding in keeping Vantablack in their spawn. They even took the lead, even if it doesn't mean much at this stage in the game. Larry getting a pick and getting forced to move back. Now, I want to see Acronym maintain control of the map in mid and not let Vantablack push in. They've popped that Tacticooler, which will aid them in pushing. But look, Adley here posted up on the slope and posing a big threat to Acronym right now. Oh, yeah, there it is. There's the threat. That's two picks right off the bat.
In a really solid spot, just not getting too close, not getting too far, just waiting for someone to peek the corner to be able to get those picks to help control middle if something happens. Is able to get the pick, but this whole battle just in middle right now. The Dynamo here trying to get something there. Oh, there we go. It looks like the Vantablack picked it up. They're running. They're running for their lives. They're able to get the lead. They get down to 32 by just running it across the map. And again, no lead is really truly safe on this map. So you really just still need to play at it as if it's still just the full game. It's right at the very end where it truly counts. So we still got 2 minutes left in this game. The Rainmaker is being held on the window there on Acronym's side. And now even keeping it down here in this area is a little scary. Because if they get splatted here, they have the other way up. But good, they finally were able to move it up. They're taking it slow and steady here. They know that Vantablack's really far back. It looks like a pick was able to get someone off here. Decaf bubbling up, trying to get some extra space here. And we can see the bucket trying to get another pick on the side. But I love how like, protect the president mode Acronym is in right now for this Rainmaker, while Vantablack is slowly trying to make their way in. Finally, the barrier breaks around the Rainmaker, as in, like, you know, the team body barrier breaks. And Vantablack able to pick it off, and now it is in their hands.
Yeah, it seems like the president might need to hire new bodyguards after that one, Debbie, because Vantablack just completely just nullified any semblance of a push that Acronym could have done or could have made. And look, they can keep picking up the Rainmaker as they are right now, but if they don't try to do so in a coordinated effort and as a team, they will never break through these defenses. They need to charge their specials as they have. Tactical is online right now, and they need to get a pick. I would love to see the triple ink strikes getting popped by Big Bubbler. There we go, but with only 2 players on the map and with Alibi pinching you as well as PogChamp there's really not much you can do, and there's only 20 seconds left on this map, Devi. And look, the brush drops, gets 1, gets 2, but this is not the type of play that you want to be seeing. And you can feel that Acronym right now is stressing because the timer is running low, and they really have nothing to push with right now. And look, they can pick up the Rainmaker, but I highly doubt they can make something happen without a pick.
Decaf tried to get a trade there, is able to get help, but there's still a bucket here in the way. The brush able to pick it off, but look at just all of this extra ink pressure going on. This Doolies is hightailing the Rainmaker. Larry here just trying to find ways to go down in middle here. There we go. Good movement from the end zap. Watch out for the bomb! Okay, Kraken is trying to lead the way, was that a bomb? I think there was another bomb there.
Slosher. I think it was just a slosher.
Okay. Slosher and another bomb was there. I know I saw a bomb and other ink happening, but yeah, just Kraken trying to make a way forward, but it was the only one there and just couldn't quite find the other one in the meantime. It was a bomb. Okay, thank you for that.
Oh, it was a bomb? Oh,
yeah, there was another splat bomb in front of the Rainmaker, and I was like, was it? I did see the bucket, but I just like, where did the splat bomb come from the bucket?
Sorry, my attention was fully on the Kraken running down the bucket, and I thought,
that's okay.
You need to get this pick if you want to win the game, because that's such a shame, because if the rest of the team, barring the Kraken, was positioned a little bit, or just was a little bit slower, which they could afford at that moment in time, they would have gotten the pick onto the bucket, and that probably would have been a lead flip. But
very well
no.
Could have been, yeah.
But look, Devi, I welcome this. We're now 1-1, so we're back on ground zero. It seems like
we are back on round 0. This is a trend for majority of the lowings, which is a good thing. I love it when it always goes like this. It's like, okay, we see what both of these teams are fully capable of now. From the first game, we just like, okay, this one's been doing this, and this, and the counter pick. Okay, this is what we think that they're gonna do, and now, and then they show how they want to do it, while the other team going, wait a minute, but we can still also do this at the same time. And now we're going to game 3, and now, of course, with it being semis, it is best of 5 now. So, but we are still zeroed out, and we have the pick from the Acronym crew being Tower Control Ship Shape.
Interesting. Very interesting. This is the map pick from Acronym, and I think they really want to leverage on this splatter scope, because from a former Charger player, let me just say, Charger, as strong or as weak as it may be, playing Charger on a map that doesn't favor it is just brutal. So by setting up this player, even if they don't hit many shots, by posting them up on some certain parts of the map, they just instantly apply a lot of pressure just by pointing a laser at the enemy, especially when the enemy has a dynamo as kind of like, let's not really the backline or the anchor of the team, but let's assume that it fulfills that role. Because
staple in the middle.
Yeah, it's not fun if you're getting gunned down by a Charger, or if you can't make it past a certain line in the map because you're going to be in range of the Charger. Now, Tower Control, I like the pick, I'll be honest, but I think this still could be anyone's map.
It truly can be. We've seen what both teams can dish out, and like you said, this is definitely wants to favor the Charger player, and they're bringing out the E leader now for this one. I was like, okay, if they bring out still the strikes one, they have the control, they have the wall to protect the ledges, and this Charger player is doing a good job at taking their positions and holding them well until they get rushed down by specials. Then, of course, all you have to do is back up. But they're doing a really good job at taking their positions early, being able to make these ways for their teammates to move in, because as we saw, they immediately got that first pick up on that left-hand side, and you can see that Acronym really wants to try to take this left-hand side now after when they deal with the middle area, just to try to get something rolling. They have Booyah Bomb going out here, and it looks like Kirby's just getting stuck on the side here, getting 2v1 right now, and it looks like the Charger is trying to get out. It looks like Vantablack made a statement, got 2 down, and is now taking the tower for the first push. Even though Acronym got the first pick, Vantablack is getting the first push.
Yeah, the great crab tank there, as we said before, an amazing asset to deal with Chargers when you're getting outranged, and that's exactly what happened there. Now finally, Vantablack getting forced out. They did clear that first checkpoint, which is great for them. It will assist them in future pushes, but I really want to see Acronym try to punish that, okay, no, they can't, they just can't punish the decav, because Bubbler plus the triple ink strikes to cover for them finally goes down. But look, Vantablack has made a lot of space once again, and they keep winning these duels. Larry in a 2v1, not a favorable position at all, as Alibi pushes this right side of the map, instantly gets picked off by the E-Leader. And with these specials, finally, this will be the end of the push. But they need to push back into mid, and Acronym just needs to get control and set themselves up, or else they will get steamrolled once again.
I think Vantablack is recognizing that if they let Acronym set up, it's not going to bode well for them, and what they're doing is that they're taking down 2 in the middle. The Charger can't really get to where it wants to be right off the top. It's just they're dealing with a lot of ink being put in front of them. That bubble just being placed right in front of the Charger's shot, just the Charger can't do anything with it now. It's just they're trying to make sure that this Charger can't get anything done. But now Acronym here getting that 3 down and able to push Vantablack back finally. And now I'm hoping that they are able to take this top left and take this space so that Vantablack can't get control of it, because that is the #1 space you want to get to be able to get this first checkpoint for yourself.
Look, Devi, 2 picks. Great situation. They did invest the Trizuka there. No picks from it, but that's okay. Forced the rest of Vantablack to go back and splat Kirby there. Actually moving up and getting that pick with a Suction Bomb, I believe. Booyah Bomb displacing Vantablack even further. And they've cleared the first checkpoint. They have the E-Leader set up on that box. Crab Tank to help verse it. And even with Splat Kirby trying to flank it, it is not enough. And Adley getting a beautiful pick. Can they get a second? Maybe not. They need to be wary of that Slosher, and they need to be wary of that Doolies. Thankfully, with the assistance of their teammate, they do so, or they pick them off. And this decav trying to back away. It seems like Vantablack suddenly playing in a very disorganized manner and allowing for Acronym to move up in the map, and to Acronym's praise, they're actually playing a lot more coordinated, which is great and absolutely necessary if they want to beat this incredible push to 18.
Yeah, that is a crazy push. And now, again, still just trying to be able to fight to take this top left corner. This top left corner is key just to be able to get by here. Getting right back forward here. Just now trying to look at the other area. The Charger here trying to find the right angles here, but strikes are being pushed in their way. You can see the Charger's trying to take the top corner. This decap here was doing a good job at getting forward, but then found a Zuka shot. But now Larry here painting up the control, just trying to keep tapping this tower. It looks like they found a member on the other side. They were able to pick it down. The Dooley Howl here trying to contest this tower. The decap back, trying to also keep it down here. And it was just this fight in the corner. 2 members of Acronym go down. Just unfortunate there that they're able to go down, but good defense on the side of Vantablack with it being as close as it was and then getting to that checkpoint, but they still haven't found a way to be able to break that lead. Vantablack doing a good job at just holding Acronym back right now.
Oh my, okay, absolutely vile that the decav got that trade, but nonetheless, Acronym still in control of the objective. This is their last opportunity to get this lead. They need to take that tactical before it gets destroyed by the tower. There we go. Now, Oh, wow. Okay, great follow-up with the Trizuka. I was going to say, such a shame if the Dynamo completely nullifies that push. Great Booyah placement, and that is going to be in the nick of time. Vantablack gets defeated, and Acronym takes map 3, thankfully, as that was their counterpick. Wow, what a beautifully executed push at the end.
That was exactly what they locked in. They absolutely locked in at the very end, and I'm like, okay, they are having such a hard time taking this corner, and now Vantablack is defending well. They always have one in the way, and then finally the specials were in their favor for Acronym, and they were able to just secure that top side. Checkpoint broken, lead taken, game done. Beautiful.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. But look, for the first time today, we're looking at a best of 5. So it's not over. It isn't over. There's still 2 maps left, and it's now Vantablack's counterpick, which does mean that if they win the map, Acronym has the counterpick advantage for the last map of the set. However, I wouldn't be too scared because for the first, 4 minutes of that map, I was thinking, wow, did they really choose this map? It doesn't seem like it's going too well for them. But thankfully they pulled through. And I was very impressed with that last push. And they just need to keep simulating that kind of team play and coordinated play for the maps to come. Because they can definitely come out on top. But Vantablack, from the first 2 matches, still looked like the first match, still looked like the stronger team. And I think they can really play to their strengths. They need a reset. I know they just lost this map, but it doesn't matter. You got 2 more chances.
2 more chances, and of course now with Vantablack with counterpick control again, they very well have a good opportunity to bring it back. In the Humpback Rainmaker game, it almost looked like it could have been the other way around, but then they just were to get that runaway with the Rainmaker and take it on their counterpick. And on this one, Vantablack again showing that they were dominant for a lot of that game, and it just came right down to the end where specials were online for Acronym and just were able to allow it there. But this counterpick, I'm not sure what this counterpick could be, in all honesty.
Well,
I'll
tell you.
Yeah,
go ahead, sorry.
I was just trying to think here, and then I'm like, no, I kind of just lost it, and I was just like thinking here this, and I'm like, no, what are your theories?
Well, I was going to say, well, now we know what it is. I was going to tell you what it couldn't be and take the opportunity to remind everybody watching of the rules. Of course, for this counterpick, or for these counterpicks, teams can't pick the mode that they previously won on, or that they won last, rather. And they can't pick maps that were already played in the series. But nonetheless, we're going into Tower Control Mako. And it makes sense. It's not great for Charger. It can be a bit overwhelming, but at the same time, a good Charger with a good setup can be very, very scary here. However, this map is prone to snowballs. It's either a snowball or it's either a stall fest, Devi.
Yeah, it is.
So with the way Vantablack has been positioning themselves as the dominant team, seemingly, at the start of every match, they can start a very strong push, and one that could very well end the game within a couple minutes. Now, Acronym here, they really need to adapt, and they can't be too overzealous with their plays as they were in the previous map, at least for the first half. They need to be a lot more methodical and simulate the way they were playing at the end of the map. That being said, Devi, lead us in.
We've got the Mako. So this here, with the terrain, I was also thinking Mako for a map, but I wasn't sure of the mode. But with this being, having the stacks and having the terrain, the bucket and the dynamo should be able to synchronize well together, with the decav also trying to get those side angles, trying to go for flanks. You can see it's already trying to take control on top, but is unfortunately taken down. And then the dualie's trying to follow up, unfortunately going in when the decav was already mostly down, giving Acronym a prime opportunity to be able to get this solid advantage here. Has the first set of strikes out ready to go, is going to break this first checkpoint, already getting this first push. The tower, the charger on the tower is able to also help isolate the person who is on top. It looks like the Dooley trying to get a flank, but unfortunately does fail because it was called out. And this push already going to 40 points, and we've only been a minute into this game. All the way to 39.
That's a great starting push, but unlike what we said, for the opposite team that we're thinking would show up with this performance. Now, Decapitator popping that big bubbler on the right side of the map. That's the only place where enemy players are still at, and Splat Kirby here just lurking, waiting for an opportunity. When will they move? There it is, but you're moving into a decav in a big bubbler, so yeah, back up, buddy. I agree with that decision. Meanwhile, tower is getting pushed, and those triple ink strikes are aiding in that. And look, Vantablack got 2 picks seemingly out of nowhere, Devi, so they could very well be taking lead here.
They very well could be. The crab is just rolling around on the tower, just getting those extra points. They are able to take lead here, and just as quick as Acronym pushed, Vantablack brings it right back and just pushes it right back forward, and they're still going. Bubbler's on the tower now. That's going to be a hard one to go. Just, you see the bucket coming from behind the decav with a quick turn pick, but now it's just the Dynamo left alive, trying to go up to take this stack here. But then it's just like, nope, maybe I shouldn't. Nope, now I'm going up. The Charger is on the tower, so the Dynamo doesn't want to give themselves up right away. They want to be able to make it so that if somebody does push them, they can get there, but does opt to jump out in the end, which is a good, safer option to be able to make sure to keep those coolers online. Charger here trying to find this bucket that is hiding behind the wall, and then the bucket strikes, the Charger strikes back and forth, and 2 end up going down on the side of Vantablack. Acronym now winning that fight, 3 down, just the Dynamo left alive. They're getting paint back in middle, and they're looking to take tower back around. It looks like members of Vantablack are trying to get on the defensive spot up on the top right, but the tower's going to keep cruising as the decav gets a pick on top. Is now looking to try to find the Charger and the shot on the side, but is defended there. That decav with that nice jump in there. Not jump in, but like dash in, getting that pick on the side.
Yeah, great defense there from Vantablack. The Acronym there, having the Charger posted up on the tower is quite dangerous, especially for clearing that left side of the map, or at least of the path that the tower takes. It's so close to the enemy spawn. I would love to see the Charger set up on this right stack and try to just throw some oppressing fire onto the enemy side of the map as they start yet another push. It seems like they're relentless with this, and Vantablack finally in their back foot once again. It seems like they can't really put themselves back on the map as Alibi takes a beautiful, beautiful pick. And there it is. With 2 picks, they're back in mid. This is their map control, and they can start another counter push. If Splat Kirby has nothing to say about it, yeah, okay, all right, 1 pick is enough. I agree with that. I like that from Vantablack. Now, Acronym, they can get a couple picks here. That's 1, almost 2 onto the Dynamo, but PogChamp has something to say about it. There we go. That's a clean wipe. Vantablack with 1 minute left, standing on top of the world right now.
They do have that bubbler at the ready at the disposal, but they do have to get that tower around the corner. Well, they don't actually have to. They have the lead, but they have that bubble at the ready. The Charger able to get a pick. It looks like the decav is just holding that stack. Strikes to be able to counter it. It does end up getting that pick. 2 members now down on the side of Vantablack. Make that 3. Okay, delay 3. 30 seconds left in this game. Acronym is looking to push this tower. Strikes are online for the bucket for the end. The thing is, when is they going to use them? Probably not till the end, so they're going to try and hang on to them. But the Dynamo Zuka, all I saw was a tidal wave of ink, and the bucket just goes down.
Hey, but a tidal wave of ink is sometimes all you need. I mean, just look at this Dynamo, almost getting 2. Okay, the Dynamo actually saved the game right there.
Yes.
As Vantablack, it might be going down. There's still a bucket. There could be a hero play here. Nope, never mind. Those tripling strikes are enough to just clean house. We're going to game 5, folks.
Ta-da! The teams are playing to their counter picks. Even though at the start or middle it might not look like it, they end up locking it at the end and bring it right back. So yeah, we're going to game 5, and this is Acronym's pick. So they can pick another map to be able to really let their Charger shine.
Mm-hmm.
I could think of a map, but not mode.
You can say it. Oh, all right.
I was like, the first map pick would be Haggle, but then with zones, they've already did a zones thing. So I'm like,
Well, it's difficult because now suddenly it seems like Vantablack has a lot of tools to deal with the charger, and I mean they have the possibility of a crab tank. They can have the tripling strikes, just throwing bombs at it. So I would love a mode that isn't as mobile. I think that would really benefit. I'm missing the word. That would benefit Acronym. So I'm thinking Splat Zones could be a good map pick or mode pick for them. They did win the first map of the series, which was on Splat Zone, so that could be great. But I think regardless of map or mode, it could really be anyone's game. These teams are obviously very close in skill, and in terms of team comp, they're very even. They're very even team comps. There's not any screaming weakness in any of these two teams. So
they each have their way in.
Exactly. It would be very hard to capitalize off of one crucial thing to win a match. And look, we're seeing this pattern in victories, AB, so that itself speaks for it.
So if we're looking at their distance, so they have to pick either Rainmaker or Clams for the mode.
No,
right?
they can pick anything except tower control.
Oh, okay. They can pick any, it's just the most recent. Yeah, okay. So
Exactly.
zones would probably be the big one. Then I would for the charger, I would say Haggle or Robo. But considering the strikes and what can get in, I feel like one could keep that off. But wait, we can see the counter. Okay, this is another one. Okay. I was thinking Museum. Clams Museum is the counter pick for this one. Museum was the other one. We're like, okay, we were talking about how earlier we saw a pencil on Museum, but it was Rainmaker. But in this case, now it's Clams. So this charger still has a lot of range to be able to view that. The one thing I'm worried about here, though, is the big ledges. Vantablack can really take advantage of that. So that's the one thing I'm worried about on this pick. But if they're able to make sure that they don't get control under those ledges, for like if Acronym make sure Vantablack doesn't get ledge control, this should be a pretty decent map mode for them. They just cannot let Vantablack abuse those ledges, because the dynamo in the bucket can do some serious damage under those ledges.
And let's not forget, in a mode like Clan Blitz, having a weapon that's so, let me throw myself at you, coded, like Decav, which we saw in the first game coming out from Vantablack. It could be very, very dangerous, especially for a team like Acronym, who once locked out has not very little, but few resources to get back into mid. They really need to throw everything at once. Maybe they'll I don't know, double Ink Strike, but if you're relying on just specials to even get out of spawn, that is not a good sign. Either way, let's see. Maybe I'll get proven wrong. But right now it's looking like Vantablack to me.
Yeah, Vantablack just going to stick with their main comp, and we see that Acronym is going back to the Ink Strike Charger, the ZNF, and the Kraken Octobrush is also making a return. So that's one of those things where it's like, hey, I want to get up on your plat. I'm going to just Kraken up there and be a nuisance. But PogChamp over here on the right, I mentioned earlier how Vantablack has ledge demons, pretty much. PogChamp already doing just that. The bucket's following it up pretty quickly, but of course isn't going to overstep their grounds, knowing that the Charger's there and the other extra members of Acronym were there. But it looks like the brush got picked off on the side. I didn't see how that went off.
The brush went for a swim. Let's say that.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what happened to the brush? And I'm like,
either way, finally now, Acronym trying to make a move. The brush might be getting a pick. No, okay. Only Acronym with their tactical are online. And Vantablack getting one of their players picked off. I was going to say, in the first minute, there's been a lot of splats, a lot of duels happening, but really no consequence for either team. There's been a lot of map control flips, but no clam counts, no egregious clam counts, I mean. It's been relatively tame when it comes to the objective, and it seems like the teams are opting to play a more team deathmatch kind of game. Because, look, congratulations, Vantablack. You have the entirety of the map for yourselves, but okay, now the clams are starting to rack up, but you don't have a power clam, you have no specials, you just got 2 picks, which might as well be the start of a push, and okay. Here we go. Vantablack finally playing the game called Clam Blitz and not the game called Deathmatch. But it's gonna just not last any time. That is hardly a push. I wouldn't call that a push even, Debbie. I would call that throw a power climb in, go back to spawn, and give the enemy team the control of the map.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen a strategy where teams will do a thing where they'll throw a power clam in, they'll get a couple clams, and then they'll rinse and repeat, and they'll do that for the entirety of the game. It has worked. It's not the most common strategy that works, but it is a strategy that can work. But in this case, the acronym crew has the capability just to be able to push right back up quickly and make it so that they can't do it again right away. But Vantablack, again, is getting underneath those ledges, making sure that people just can't stand up on things just because they have all of that wave of ink going from down up, and it's making it really hard for Acronym to be able to keep that control right now in the middle of the game. Looks like the brush here is this way, and they want something to happen, but there's only 2 clams. They're gonna jump this power clam in. They want to stall this potential push that Vantablack has, and the Chargers now just kind of holding up front forward, but they don't have really much to follow up on it. I lied. There's 2 that are down. They have something that can follow up on it. There we go. There's the lead. They got a few more clams in. That is what they needed. That is what the brush has been wanting to do the entirety of the game. Just go cracking up onto plat and be like, hey, jump to me, we have this resources. But now, we're a minute 45 into this game. Left. Vantablack now has 2 power clams at their disposal. 1 already made, and then they have the pity clam. The bubble is online. It looks like Cooler is out on the other side of Acronym, and now we're fighting for middle again. If Vantablack gets control, this could be a bad look for Acronym, but it looks like it ends up being trades kind of around the block here, but the Decav doing some work here, up on the ledge, Cooler out now, and Vantablack making their appearance, pushing forward here. They have all of these clams at the ready here, and they're trying to find that way in, just making sure that they get these picks, but it looks like someone got up over top. The strikes were out, another happened, and 3 members of Vantablack go down in the middle there. That push was stopped. That was looking a little scary.
It seems like both teams are playing so slow. Great shot from Adley there. Great pick. And now they have 2 power clams to work with. Only the Dynamo, I mean, I say only, but the Dynamo completely shut down that entire push almost by himself. And that's a wipe. That's the entirety of Acronym is coming back from spawn as Vantablack is moving quite swiftly, pardon me, towards mid. They have the tactical, they have a lot of clams, but they only have 3 players online, which is not something you want to see. Maybe they'll equalize the field. There we go. NZAP goes down, but so does the Dynamo roller. And look, they can't really move up. They need to coordinate their specials. They need more specials. And Acronym has both Trizuka and Triple Ink Strikes online right now. And with overtime about to get triggered, this is a very, very tough situation for Vantablack. They need a Hail Mary play right now. And it's not going to be made by getting pushed by the brush. I mean, maybe PogChamp, okay, cleaning house, but you got nothing to your. Oh, never mind. I'm in awe. I'm in awe. I didn't expect that. I thought the Kraken would be a little bit faster, and that the Decav wouldn't have enough time to throw those clams in. What a fumble! What a fumble!
I swear, every time I'm on mic, there's always something that happens with Clam Blitz.